Obviously, with the team in decent form, do you feel like things are really coming together over the last sort of month or so since the new year?
Yeah, I think, like you said, we're in a good place right now, and we're in a good little run. And I think we've always shown that we can put something together. It's kind of just not really happened, and I hope now we have set a good platform to now go and kick on and push towards the end of the season.
3 clean sheets out of the last 4 games. Why do you think that is?
I don't know if it's anything specific. Maybe just we've been better in our own box. We just would like getting the fine margins right, just staying with your men, winning headers in the last second. I think in previous games it wasn't a case of we were getting cut open and getting like destroyed defensively. I think it was a case of just fine margins, just headers here and there and losing men and the fine details. So I think we've just ironed out the errors at the moment, and hopefully that can continue.
It's probably no coincidence that the defensive record has improved after the arrival of Ben Ward and Devon Matthews. Clearly they've made an impact. What have you thought?
Yeah, I think all the new signings in January have done well, especially in training. I think we were all impressed with all of them. Obviously, especially the lads you've just said there. But I think even the lads that was already here, Sonny, and obviously Zach, we have just lost. But I think even towards the back end of Zach's spell and the start of the run, I think we were defensively solid then, and you can't forget about Faz. So I think, to be fair, I think defensively we have got a lot of good defenders, and I think the new signings do definitely help.
Of course. Just on Devon Matthews, he's come from National League North, Curzon Ashton. How have you seen his sort of step up? Because he seems to have taken to it really well.
Yeah, I don't think you would say he has stepped up. I think it's just been a case of him. It's just been natural. I don't think he'll find it any different to what he was doing before. I think he just looks like he's a natural there. You would never have thought that he's never played in League Two before.
I guess for him, he's glad he's got his opportunity. Maybe he's been playing in National League North, just waiting for someone to take a look at him in detail and go, yeah, he's right for us, and that's what Stanley have done.
Yeah, I think fair play to whoever's recruited him. He signed a good player, but no, he's a good player and he's a good lad as well. I like him.
Just on the new signings, it gives you all competition for places. I guess there's a bit, maybe not a bit more of a buzz, but a good buzz in training because of that. Everyone's really on it to make sure they get in the starting 11.
Yeah, it's very competitive, and I think that's what you need for players to improve and for the whole squad to be better. And I think there's no hiding from anything now. You can't just like know you're gonna play. You can't relax because there's no place guaranteed. Every position there's loads of players that can play in them all, and they're all good players as well.
Obviously, for very sad reasons, you've been without John Doolan for a time. How difficult was that for the players?
Yeah, it's a massive miss. When you've got like the main leader of the squad, the motivator, the everything, I think it is a big miss. But I think fair play to Jed and Camp, who's obviously stepped up to help out. I think they've done like an outstanding job, and I think with the results, you wouldn't be able to know, which is a good thing.
How good is John? You mentioned the word motivator there. How good a coach is he, and how well has he stepped up to being the manager?
I think it's been seamless for him. Well, if I'm trying to speak for him, it looks seamless. And obviously I knew him before he was officially the manager, and I think he now just has more of like a more managerial role in the sense of the motivator and all that, whereas before it was previously the coaching, the sessions. And I think like that's what he's good at. He's a people person. He's one of them where he gets people to like him, and he's like a popular member of part of the squad. So yeah.
How much has he helped you, Connor? Your development has obviously been really good over the last 18 months or so. What's John done for you?
Oh, it's massive. I think I was just saying this now. I've got my clips to do after this, so it's constantly after every game we're going through clips, little areas you can improve and details and things. And I think he's really selfless. I think he's not bothered about himself. He just wants to help improve the team and improve every individual. And obviously the results is the main thing, but he isn't afraid to help me as a person to try and get better and try and move on.
You mentioned going through your clips. Obviously, that's a huge part of the game, all the data and everything that's available to football clubs now. Do you enjoy going through your clips, or does it depend on the performance?
It very much depends on how you played. I think if you've played well, then your first one in there, yeah, let's do my clips. But if you haven't played well, then maybe you don't want to do them so much.
When you do have those sessions, I guess you go away with all that in your mind, and it's just a case of making sure you don't make the same mistakes, or if you've done something good, you go and do that again.
Yeah, and I think when you're in the environment, when you're doing the clips, it's a very relaxed environment. It's not a pressurised environment. So when you do make mistakes that you're watching, it's not a case of you being like scrutinised for it. It's a case of like you're trying to learn, and so you'd be given options of what you could do instead or whatever. And I think from there, when you go home, it's a lot easier to take in rather than being shouted at for your mistakes.
Do you speak about it with your teammates, all that? You know, do you get together and speak about those things?
About doing our clips?
Yeah, yeah.
No, I think it's more like a private thing. I think you go and
Yeah.
you do it with the management and whoever the staff are available, and you go for your own individual clips. I think there has been occasions where if we haven't performed great as a defensive unit, or even we've done well as a defensive unit, there can be a few players in there doing the same clips, looking at the same like sort of things.
7 points above the relegation places. You're looking a healthy place at the moment. How? I guess there isn't any concern about relegation. It's just about looking up now.
I think it's always been a case of looking up. No one wants to be looking down behind them, and it's up to us to obviously get the results to where we can look up. Right now, 7 points. Do we want to be more points away? Definitely. But is it better than what we were a few weeks ago? Yes, it is as well. So I think it's a case of just trying to win more games, get better results, and move further forward.
It feels like a big week. You've got Bradford and then you've got Morecambe at the weekend. Just on Bradford, how difficult a game do you think this might be?
Oh, it'll be tough. But I think every game from now to the end of the season is going to be tough. It doesn't matter who you're playing, home or away. It's going to be a tough game. But they're obviously a good side and they're doing well in the league. So, yeah, it will be hard.
Yeah, 7 home wins in a row. It's been a while since Bradford have been in such a high position. They've got lots of threats, haven't they, even though they've lost their top scorer to a season-ending injury, and obviously a big crowd at Bradford as well.
Yeah, they've got good players. I know a few of them as well. Obviously, we had Tommy here, and there was a lad that I played with at Ireland who's a good player. So they've obviously going to have good players, but like a lot of teams in the league, they've all got good players, and that just is one of them. And I think the crowd will help them and us. I think the occasion and the atmosphere will bring the best out of us as well. So no, it'll be a good time.